Alright, so this is the companion video to my Samsung Galaxy S4 just the glass screen replacement video. In this one I'm going to show you how to use the Loca glue to fix your phone in a more permanent way. I still like to use a little bit of the double-sided tape to help keep the glue on top of the LCD instead of having it bleed into the home button and the earpiece. So now that I have the tape on there, I'm going to go ahead and use some denatured alcohol to get rid of any fingerprints and dust and excess glue that's still on the screen. And then here's the Loca glue. This is a UV activated optical adhesive. For such a scientific name, it is pretty inexpensive and easy to use. The best way I can explain how to apply the glue is to mentally divide the phone into 4 separate parts. The bottom segment will be the legs. You're going to gently squeeze the glue out into legs. The middle 2 segments will be the body. Just go straight up the phone. And then the top segment, the top fourth of the phone, will be the arms, spread out towards the corners. And then you're going to come back and just do a little line across the center. This is more than enough glue. You could actually even get away with doing a little bit less than this. The goal is to not have too much excess though. You don't want the glue to flow into the earpiece and the home button. If there are bubbles in your glue, now is the time to get it out. You can just kind of poke it with your tweezers, dry them off, and then poke it again to pop any bubbles. There's no rush at this point because the glue's not going to do anything until the UV light gets on it. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the plastic on the glass. I'll put a link for this in the video description below as well. Make sure not to touch the back of the glass or else you'll have some permanent fingerprints on your phone. Make sure the home button and the ribbon cable for the menu button is intact. And then I'm going to put my tweezers up at the top of the phone and then my hand down at the bottom, and I'm going to gently press down. Make sure you're ready to do this because once the screen touches the UV glue, you're committed. Go as slow as possible. The slower you go, the less bubbles there will be. As you can see here, I kind of speed up towards the center, and I'm going to get 3 massive bubbles right in the middle of my screen, which is very unfortunate for me, but lucky for you guys because you get to see how to get bubbles out of your screen if it ever happens. Now, in the ideal situation, there would be no bubbles here, and all I'd have to do is apply, minor pressure to the center of the screen to get the glue to flow out to the edges. This is normal, and as soon as the glue would touch the edges, then I just plop the UV light on there, which I'll show you in a second, and the glue would harden in about a minute, and you'd be good to go. But since there are some bubbles in the center, I have 2 options. One is to leave them, not a big deal. You can't really see the bubbles when the screen is on anyway. Or 2, I can massage the bubbles out onto the sides and get rid of them that way. So as I press down on the screen, the bubbles kind of run away from my finger, but you can also see on the sides of the phone that the UV glue is kind of leaking. Out of the sides of the phone is not that big of a deal. You just want to make sure that the UV glue isn't getting into the earpiece or the front-facing camera slot because it'll make all of your pictures blurry and foggy. Remember that any glue that is not touched by the UV light will remain liquid. So any of the glue that is underneath the black portion of the screen will still bleed out later on. Anyway, now that I have the bubbles out of the phone, I'm going to go ahead and start it with the UV light. I'm keeping a little bit of pressure on the screen just so that bubbles don't start to seep in from the sides. It'll take about 20 or 30 seconds for the glue to become tacky enough that'll hold the screen in place. Once it's tacky enough, I can set the light directly down on top of the phone and give it about another 2 or 3 minutes while the glue completely cures. To get rid of the excess glue on the outside of the screen, I find that it's easier to start with a dry paper towel instead of using the alcohol. Once the glue is off with the dry paper towel, then you can use the alcohol after that. You can see that I have a little bit of glue seeping through the home button here. Once I get that glue just pressed out, it'll work just fine. The glue does not affect how the phone works at all. Here's the UV light just kind of sealing up anything else that would have leaked through on the back. And that's it. Now you have a completely working phone. the optical adhesive does turn out very well. It's just like new. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you, and don't forget to subscribe.